and owns a record 139 wins. And then came the legend of Karch, whose 1996 gold medal brought worldwide recognition of the sport. Meanwhile, Kent Steffes is quickly approaching this legendary status, and for the first time he's dominating without Karch. More history to be made today at the Miller Lite U.S. Championships.
Y'all ready for this?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is big time volleyball. This is the AVP on
By land, by sea, by air, they have come from everywhere to Hermosa Beach, California. And since nearby Manhattan Beach has been under siege from local activists, you could say that Hermosa is now the new capital of beach volleyball. As we bring you up the Strand, we can tell you the weather is cool and overcast. The sun is peeking through. Perfect conditions for the players here at the Miller Lite U.S. Championships. It is the third leg of the Grand Slam, and today on center court we have a great matchup for you. The silver medalist, Mike Dodd, Mike Whitmarsh, against gold medalist Karch Kiraly and the former king of the beach, Adam Johnson. Hi again, everybody. Chris Marlowe back with my pal Paul Sunderland. Bill Walton will be by to provide updates a little bit later. The big story on the AVP Tour this year, the dominance of one team. No, it's not Kent and Karch. It's Kent and Jose Loyola.
Well, they've been fabulous. They're athletic. They're exciting. They're beautifully conditioned. And it started very early in the year, particularly for Jose Loyola, who displaced or dethroned Karch Kiraly as king of the beach. It was there in Las Vegas that Steffes and Loyola realized that they had something magical going, and Kent Steffes has continued that. They've won 11 out of 14. You saw Kent Steffes celebrating his 100th win last week, only the fourth player in pro beach volleyball history to do that. They've been superb, and much of the rest of the top players on tour have been injured, thus their dominance.
It's been an unusual year on the AVP Tour. How do you know that? Karch Kiraly, Adam Johnson, neither has won a tournament. Neither has been in the final. What about Karch? How good is he now, and how healthy is he?
I don't know. And the problem is, neither does Karch Kiraly. From week to week, after undergoing not major shoulder reconstruction, but mammoth shoulder reconstruction, Karch told me that he doesn't know from one day, 1 week, 1 month to the next how his shoulder is going to be. You look at the numbers, tremendous accomplishments for Karch Kiraly, including the gold medal. He's won here 6 times. He's averaged over the last 5 years 16 wins a season, has won 0 this year. And Adam Johnson, his partner, played with Jose Loyola last year, was mad at him, very mad at Jose Loyola when he dropped him earlier in the year, but that has now settled out, and AJ, in spite of a 9th last week with Karch Kiraly, is sticking by Karch when a lot of people thought he would have dropped an injured Karch and gone after someone, well, like one of his opponents today, Mike Whitmarsh.
Loyola and Steffes considered the best team on the beach. Who's number 2? You could say Mike Dodd and Mike Whitmarsh. They've won 2 tournaments, always dangerous.
They are. They can be dominant in their own right. They have an entirely different style from a lot of the other teams on the beach because they rely so much on Mike Dodd's mobility, which has been severely limited. He dislocated his ankle much earlier in the season, but he's taken a couple of weeks off to try to recuperate. He's not 100%. Add to that, he's getting up there, 40 years of age, and he's got a pulled groin. So he relies on Mike Whitmarsh, 6'7". He must be dominant. He's jump serving a little bit more right now, Chris. He's got to be dominant up front, particularly against Karch Kiraly, who's still got the bad shoulder.
1 game to 15, a chance to move on into this semifinal. These teams have only played once against each other all year. It was in the first Hermosa tournament. Adam Johnson, Karch Kiraly winning that one easily, 15-8, thus taking 5th place. So here is Adam Johnson, set to launch, 6'3", 200 pounds, 32 years old, and the serving error right off the bat, and give the ball to Mike Dodd and Mike Whitmarsh. Mike Dodd, the oldest AVP player to ever win a tournament. He'll turn 40 on August 20th. Here's Karch, and Karch hits the first ball directly out of bounds point. Mike Whitmarsh is no spring chicken. He's 35 years old. He's played the last 5 years with Mike Dodd, the former basketball player out of San Diego. Having a great career. And Karch tips it. I talked to Dodd earlier. They're going to serve Karch all the time. 3-to-1 ratio, at least, says Dodd.
Everybody has been throughout the course of the season. Karch has been inconsistent, and his trademark throughout the course of his career since he was probably in grammar school was knew what to expect from Karch Kiraly on the volleyball court, and he himself has said that he cannot give that sort of consistency. Adam Johnson with a surprisingly, and I'll call it big stuff block, because AJ and Karch are, by today's standards, a diminutive team. They don't block all that many balls, so anytime they can get a stuff block for a point, that's a big bonus.
Karch serving, and Karch serving weakly. What the shoulder has done is affect Karch's hitting primarily, but it also affects his serving. He can't get steam on the serve.
You see part of the remnants of, again, very, very complicated, multi-layered surgery on Karch's right shoulder.
Pretty good dig by Dodd. Oh, and Karch shows a little zip on that one.
You mentioned Karch's inability to serve the ball effectively. A lot of the players have said Karch ought to just get rid of that jump serve because it has been one of the weakest, most ineffective jump serves all season long. A lot of the top players like a Kent Steffes have 80, 90 aces on the year. Jose Loyola is way up into the 150s. Karch has 7 or 8.
Tied at 1. Here comes Dodd. Nobody up.
Super
and
set.
oh, he hit it out. Sunday, that was too close to the net. You can't hit him that close.
Well, again, Mike Dodd, you know, his mobility has been severely limited. You dislocate your ankle, and Mike Dodd is tough enough of a customer to come right back and play and continue in that specific tournament. But he's not 100%, and that was a superb set, one that he has got to put away.
Adam Johnson continues to serve. His second service error. Johnson considered one of the most dominating servers in the game. Has 6 different jump serves. Mike Dodd's scouting report, Miller Lite says experience.
The Big E. He knows how to change the game. Great instincts, and what we mean by that is where to be before the play develops. Digging angle on Karch Kiraly. He has made so many big digs throughout the course of his career by guessing, and they say it's guess, but it's just great instincts, and that's the key for him.
Points coming very easily. Both teams have 2 as Karch Kiraly tips it over. Karch with 126 career wins. He's second on the all-time list. He won 77 of those with Kent Steffes, 21 with St. John Smith. And one of his first wins, interestingly, came right here in Hermosa Beach back in 1979. Dodd dinks, yes, the long loopy dink, side out. Score remains 2-2.
The Dodd and Whitmarsh will try to play very, very methodically. Keep the tempo or pace in their style. They want to play slowly. They don't jump serve. They're going to serve strategically, move the ball around, and give Mike Whitmarsh a chance to recover in between plays so he can go up there and use all of his 6-7-inch frame, long arms, and his ability to really get out of the sand and stuff a lot of balls. That's the key for Whitmarsh and Dodd.
Adam Johnson is 32 years old, born in Portland, Oregon, now lives in Laguna Beach, California. He has 27 open wins, tied with Gene Selznick and Greg Lee on the all-time list. If he were to win this weekend, he would move ahead of them and then begin the chase for Ron Lang, who's up there with 41. So Johnson with some very illustrious company in terms of all-time career wins.
What they're thinking about, though, this year is final #1. They have yet to be in a final. They have 3 thirds, but then struggled to a 9th last week when Karch admittedly, self-admittedly, played very poorly and inconsistently.
Side out.
Miller Lite scouting report on Karch Kiraly.
Last year it would have said fitness and athleticism. He still has tremendous all-around skills, save for his ability to hit the ball. Experience like Mike Dodd as well. He too has great instincts. It's not just a tremendous mental and physical package for Karch Kiraly. He just knows how to play this game and is a student of it and has worked so hard to, in my opinion, be the greatest all-around player of all time, indoors and out.
2-2. Karch dinks right over the top of 6'7" Mike Whitmarsh. So Karch being served relentlessly so far as he talks it over with Johnson. St. John Smith on the all-time list at 139. Karch, Randy Stokos, but watch Kent Steffes. He's moving up and moving up very fast. Dodd, Ron Von Hagen, Tim Hovland, and Jim Menges rounding it out.
At this pace, Steffes and Loyola, or Steffes could get to the century-and-a-half mark in the next 4 seasons and pass everybody by a long distance.
Mike Whitmarsh pounding it over the top. Whitmarsh is on the list somewhere. He's got 16 open wins. He got his first back in 1992 in New Orleans with Brent Frohoff. Interestingly, that was the tournament that they ran out of food in the players' tent. Karch Kiraly didn't have anything to eat, and he cramped for the only time in his career. Johnson puts it away.
I remember that. I will never forget. Karch, you need to take in your calories, and Karch was well aware of that, and there just weren't enough bananas around.
I remember one distinct conversation that you had with Karch, and Karch said, "Sunday, do you have any extra cookies?"
And I did, except he wanted bananas. I always got extra cookies.
Pretty good play there. That's legal. Karch goes and gets it. And Whitmarsh digs back. 2-2. Whitmarsh. Johnson. Yes. Johnson. Dodd goes and gets it. Long rally. Dodd. And Dodd sneaks it down the line.
There's the capital E on the top of his Miller Lite scouting report. Watch where Mike Dodd hits this ball. The set is inside. Adam Johnson drops and he's about a yard off the line, and cannot believe that Dodd can sneak that ball. And I say sneak it because he didn't have to hit it hard. Just get it down the line corridor for the side out.
Once again, a serve to Karch and a 2-2 tie. Dodd got it up. Karch to Johnson. And so Johnson, oh, what a dig by Dodd, 40 feet in the air. Can he put it away? Dodd. Not yet. Johnson goes and gets it, trying to save point. Johnson smokes it.
Players are going to go 100% in this match, and I'll tell you why. 3-day tournament, you only have to play a maximum of 2 games per day if you're able to stay undefeated in the winner's bracket. And in this portion of the bracket, you look at Karch Kirai, Mike Whitmarsh, and then in the bottom you have the number 10 seed Todd Rogers and Dax Holdren, and Dan Castillo and Aaron Voss at 10 and 18. So the winner of this match has a great shot at getting in the finals. That's why it's so important.
Break time on the beach here in Hermosa. 2-2. We're coming right back. Player of all time. After all, he was the first American to be named All-World. He won 27 Opens in an era where 4 a year was norm, and I think Gene Selznick and Karch Kirai, the 2 greatest, in my opinion, the 2 greatest all-around volleyball players in American history.
Ron Lang, Ron Von Hagen, a long, long list of very, very distinguished players. And that's a pretty distinguished-looking jump serve by Adam Johnson up the middle. You mentioned that Adam Johnson and Karch Kirai lead this series so far 1-0. The key to it a few weeks ago right here was the jump serving of Adam Johnson.
Johnson and Kirai lead it 3-2 early.
You're losing her. I need some blood. Good luck.
History, yeah, one of the 2 greatest, maybe the greatest. He's made his mark indoors and out in the Olympics. 3 gold medals. Both Pinky Hat, Karch Kirai. And the man responsible for Pinky Hat is Laz Kirai on his 62nd birthday. Had dinner with him last night, and I can tell you that he had the rainbow trout.
Responsible for Karch in a specific sense, yes.
And kind of interesting that he just had shoulder surgery also. Come on. As Johnson pops it up, looking for a point. Karch, yes.
That's how Kirai and Johnson have got to score. Serve tough, scramble. They are quick. They cover the court exceptionally well. They do not have the same advantage with respect to blocking at the net as a Mike Whitmarsh might have, so they got to play transition volleyball.
Johnson, Kirai lead at 4-2. And that serve is out of bounds. So Mike Whitmarsh and Mike Dodd, the team that won the silver medal in Atlanta, back to serve. Dodd, we mentioned, playing with a painful right ankle injury. He's also got the strained groin, but toughing it out. He's the kind of player that can play with injuries. He actually said the groin injury makes him play better on defense because he doesn't move as much. He gets in position better.
Well, he just has to rely. And, you know, as Mike's career winds on and on and on, and they've won twice this year, the silver medalists from the Olympics won only once last year, so already doubled their total here this season. In spite of the injuries, that ball right on the sideline, Adam Johnson hoping it out of bounds, but Karch right on top of it and out of his reach, however.
Speaking of the longevity of Mike Dodd played 10 years with Tim Hovland. Tim Hovland dumped him in 1993 and picked up St. John Smith because he thought Dodd was too old. Dodd playing has won 2 this year. Hovland is retired and working with you as a commentator. You look at what Dodd has done. Over 1,774 wins, silver medal. He just keeps going and going.
Well, and he said the Olympics were so huge for him last year. Just being there after everything that he had experienced and everything that the game had given him through his decades of play. The Dodds, a great volleyball family. His older brother Ted, an All-American at Pepperdine. His parents, tragically, he lost his father to cancer a couple of years ago. Always at the tournaments, always so supportive. Mike's opening a restaurant here locally and has named it after his deceased father, the Fonz.
Dodd serving, his team trailing 4-2. Here comes Karch. Karch has looked pretty good so far, and he bangs another one down. Karch, in his injury-complicated year, he was 6th at King of the Beach. Then he re-injured his shoulder and missed 7 tournaments. He's played 8 with Adam Johnson, as Paul detailed for you, 3/3.
And I asked Karch, as you and I had discussed, I wanted to ask Karch, and we'll continue that after this play.
Dodd puts it away.
If Karch, I asked him, are you consciously or subconsciously protecting your arm, holding back? He said, look, in practice, yes. If there's a ball that I'm chasing where I think I might re-injure myself, in practice I let it drop it. In the tournaments, I'm playing 100%.
Karch Karai on the attack, and he loops it over Mike Whitmarsh. 5:08 to play in this game. Adam Johnson, Karch Karai 4, Mike Dodd, Mike Whitmarsh have 2.
And Karch, a huge proponent of weightlifting and hard work in the gym, has had to cut way back on that as well because his shoulder just can't take it. He's told me he's looking forward to the end of this season and getting back in the gym.
Karch with the block.
That's a super reach to the outside by Karch Karai. I'll tell you, Karch's legs are healthy. Karch has got great legs. Look at him get out of the sand, pike over the net, showed Mike Whitmarsh that the line was open. And look at Karch make the adjustment to the outside, keeping his outside right hand turned towards the court for the straight down stuff.
5-2 is our score. Johnson and Karai humming right now. Here comes AJ. And he puts it away.
Backhanded flapper, and Karai and Johnson are doing a much better job right now of serving, which you would expect as part of their game, and also scrambling to create point-scoring opportunities and creating the little backhanded flipper. Mike Whitmarsh wasn't sure where AJ was going with that and did not have an answer in terms of trying to stop Adam Johnson.
Johnson, Karai looking very good right now. Meanwhile, Dodd and Whitmarsh, the silver medalists, in trouble. Under 5 minutes to play, 6-2. KK and AJ. In Hermosa Beach, you're looking at the Strand, one of the most famous beaches in the world in terms of volleyball. We've got a capacity crowd on hand. We're on center court. Karch Karai and Adam Johnson, who have not won a tournament this year, playing against Mike Dodd and Mike Whitmarsh, who have won 2, but so far it's been all AJ and Karai. 6-2 is our score. Dodd and Whitmarsh having a little trouble siding out, receiving the ball, setting it, putting it down.
And the conditions are good. It's a little bit breezy coming off the water, but really not inside the stadium court. And I just think it's pretty good serving so far by Adam Johnson. And Karch has been the key because he's been able to side out effectively. He's been served, and he's even dozen times right now. His partner Adam Johnson only once, and Karch has 11 kills. So 11 out of 12. Is a very, very good percentage. Siding out, you roll your offense, and that's why they've got the 6-2 lead.
Here's Karch Karai serving, now 36 years old. He'll be 37 in November. Dodd pumps it through. So Dodd and Whitmarsh, a tall, talented, experienced team. Now Whitmarsh will serve it and charge the net. Working on Karch still. How long do you serve Karch before you make the move to Johnson?
I think it's time right now to start mixing it up a little bit. Karch, first of all, they're serving him short, and he'll just gobble that up. He'll get in a good low position. He's passing the ball very well, so then it makes an easy setting opportunity for Adam Johnson. And Karch is now 12 out of 13. And since they're siding out, then Adam Johnson can go back and take much more risk from the service line, and it pays dividends with his second ace.
Adam Johnson, by far the best server in this match.
Well, there's no question about that. He doesn't have much competition in this particular contest. Karch not serving hard, and Dodd and Whitmarsh not really jump serving at all. He misses that one, but the theory now on the tour is that you have to score a lot of points with your jump serving. So players are perfectly satisfied to miss 4 or 5 or 6 serves in a row. They don't care. You just have to, every once in a while, blast in that ace, and that's the difference.
Dodd and Whitmarsh trailing 7-2.
Short serve again. Here's Karch.
Karch putting some steam on that hit. You've covered most of the tour this year. How would you say the velocity on Karch's spikes look to you today?
He's having one of his better days.
Okay.
There have been days when Karch has looked like this,
Yeah.
and then there have been weekends, as we saw in Chicago, where he just couldn't hit a ball at all.
Right.
And that's been the frustration. Nice play in transition again. AJ keeping it in play.
Dodd looking to terminate, and he does. A very casual save of a point.
Well, after all these years, Mike knows in the course of a long rally where the open sand is, and he's in no hurry to get the ball there. The important thing is just getting the ball down.
7-2, Karai and Johnson lead it.
There's a deep serve. Not deep enough, but deeper. I think that's the better place to go against Karch.
Dodd with a dig. Chance for a point right here. Dodd puts it away.
Short serve wasn't working. Once again, experience from Mike Dodd and Mike Whitmarsh. Karch is effectively passing the short serve and siding out. So you work him deep, up into the wind, tougher side out, and a point comes, we get to the side change.
Back in Hermosa Beach, California. This is championship court. Let's go to an outer court. A report on Brian Lewis, Randy Stokos, Brian Ivey, Eric Fenoy, Moana elimination game. Bill Wolf. Bill?
All right, Chris, first of all, let me tell you that there's still plenty of food left in the players' tent, so you can rest assured there. This is the second seed, Stokey and Lewis, versus the 7th seed, Ivey and Fenoy Moana. Ivey and Fenoy started off very strong. They were up 3-1, but then Brian Ivey, playing with a very sore knee that he hyperextended. This is the same knee that he injured in the Barcelona Olympics. It's been sore. He's been injured for 3 weeks now. He has faded a little bit. He was blocking very strong early, serving early, very nice, but he has faded, and Randy Stokos and Brian Lewis have taken control. They're now ahead 7-3. Chris, plenty of food all day for you.
Thank you very much, Bill Walton. Our score on the championship court is 7-3 as Whitmarsh trying to come over and make an unusual save. Sometimes you can do that if you don't interfere. You can run around the outside or run around the inside and sock it back over.
As long as the ball comes back in between the antennas, it's a legal play out on the beach. Continuing to go to Karch Kirai. After the side change, Mike Whitmarsh going, we used to just be over this way. I figure I'll just go back onto the other side. Adam Johnson, excuse me, Chris, serving again, and he served for 6 of the 7 points that have been scored by Kirai and Johnson.
Once again, good placement. Here comes Dodd against Karai. Karai got a paw on it. Oh, and he missed it. And so Mike Dodd will have it. We should tell you that Brian Lewis, Randy Stokos, Ivey Fenoy Moana matchup is an elimination game. The loser is out. Both teams have lost. Aaron Boss and Dan Castillo beat Brian Lewis and Randy Stokos yesterday, and Todd Rogers, the kid from Santa Barbara, and his partner Dax Holdren beat Brian Ivey and Eric Fenoy Moana. So either the 2 seed or the 7 seed is going to be out today.
There have been upsets all season long. Because of the injuries, teams are coming not necessarily 100%. 2 weeks ago in Grand Haven, 7 of the top 10 seeds were in the elimination bracket or losers bracket on Saturday. So a lot of upsets this season, other than on the very top, has been common each and every week.
A lot of terrific young players on the AVP Tour as Mike Whitmarsh serves. His team down 7-3. Here comes Karch. And, oh, what a play by Whitmarsh. Chance for a point. Yes!
Mike Whitmarsh gets such tremendous altitude when he blocks the ball. He forces Karch to put a lot of extra arch on this shot, and it gives Whitmarsh time to descend, get earthbound once again, turn and make the defensive play.
Fantastic play by Whitmarsh at 7-4. Whitmarsh trying to calm Karch. He could not, and Johnson will have it back. 3 minutes and 20 seconds to play. 7-4. Karai and Johnson are ahead. Been a frustrating year for AJ. Always wanted to play with Karch throughout his entire career, and now he gets Karch when he's less than 100%, but hoping for the upside potential of a Karai Johnson twosome. Dodd cut shot, beauty. Looked like you, Paul Summerlin, cutting that ball inside the defender.
Yeah, my problem, well, my problems were many, but I had a pretty good cut shot, but that was about all I had.
As I remember you as a player, your biggest problem was sunburn. getting sunburned out there.
Well, I could never find my way to the sunblock counter, you know.
Before sunburn. Sunblock. Here's Johnson, and Johnson hits it straight down. Little off speed. Score remains 7-4. AJ and KK.
Remind people of the stakes here. Of course, this being one of the Grand Slam events, people looking forward to the first ever World Championships of beach volleyball coming up in September, and it's points that you earn exclusively at the 4 Grand Slams that qualify teams to play in that World Championships. So not only the biggest prize money on the beach this summer at the 4 Grand Slams, $300,000, but very important points to get into an even bigger event at the end of the year.
Of course, that World Championship of beach volleyball coming up in September will be the strongest field ever assembled. At least 8 American teams from the AVP. There are going to be 5 Brazilian teams. And that Derby, you know, that's no good. It's outside the antenna. Score remains 7-4, Karch and Johnson.
You look at the scoreboard, both of these teams being pretty efficient offensively because the score, given the amount of time that has gone off the clock, is very, very low at only 7-4. Mike Dodd knowing that Kirai and Johnson have been good offensively and serving well, so making the extra effort to get after the ball.
Here comes Whitmarsh. Johnson is there. And AJ, yes. Whitmarsh got the bad call, I think, that time.
Well, Mike Dodd trying to coax Mike Whitmarsh where to hit the ball. AJ got this now. Watch Karch. He goes almost around the world, tracks it down, and then AJ cuts Mike Dodd against the flow. That's just a good shot in transition when you're scrambling to know where the open area and the opportunity is.
Timeout taken by Mike Dodd and Mike Whitmarsh. We're coming back to Hermosa Beach. The U.S. Championships will continue. This is the AVP on NBC. Little basketball. WNBA coming up next. Last week, a crowd of over 16,000 watched the New York Liberty extend its league's best record. Nancy Darsh doing a job. Today, we'll have the Cleveland Rockers visiting the Utah Stars. That should be a good one.
Been watching a lot of the WNBA and enjoying it, and I hope that wasn't the only game ball on the West Coast. They're going to have to dig that one up.
Those game balls are going to be collector's items as Dodd pumps it down the line. Johnson makes the dig. It's 8-4. And Whitmarsh now on the right side. Whitmarsh and Dodd struggling. Karch on the right side. Can he hit? Yes, he can.
Okay, Johnson and Kirai really are doing a marvelous job of capitalizing when they get opportunities. I remember Karch missed one swing after an AJ dig on 2, but other than that, if Johnson has gotten a ball up, he or his partner Kirai has found a way to convert that into a point, and AJ's having a great serving match. 9 of the 10 points when he's at the service line. He'll take the mistakes. He'll take the errors because they're siding out so well.
Whenever you build him up, he always does that.
I thought he'd...
9-4 is our score. Johnson and Kirai. And here comes Mike Dodd. Looks like a jumper coming. Half jumper. And a weak jumper. Dodd and Whitmarsh not known for their jump serves. They say we need a little wind. And here on the stadium court, the championship court, you don't get much wind to help your jump serve. Crowd socked in. Great crowd on hand. And Whitmarsh going over the top. Can tell you that everybody here today is a non-paying customer. Free seating available on the California beaches now, just part of the ongoing battle. What would you call it?
Well, controversy, there's no question. I mean, this venue cost in excess of 6 figures for the organizers to put on the beach, and the Coastal Commission in California has ruled that they cannot charge admission to offset those costs. So there's a court battle ensuing and to see who has the rights to which and whether or not it can be a commercial endeavor during the course of the summer, and they'll sort it out because nobody, and I mean nobody, no matter where you are in the country, wants to see beach volleyball leave Southern California.
Of course, that's the major reason that Manhattan was canceled and the tournament moved down here to Hermosa about a month ago. That tournament won by Canyon Seaman and Dane Blanton. Canyon Seaman and Dane Blanton have been struggling a little bit since then. Dane Blanton with a sprained ankle.
Another to the long list of injured players. Dane trying to work his way back after they had a superb start to the season. Mike Dodd and Mike Whitmarsh need to make something happen quick. They need a couple of points in a row to try to get to the 9-6 side change and capture some momentum. They're just sort of floating along right now, and it's Karch Kiraly and Adam Johnson that are making the plays. Remember, we were tied at 2, and since that time, it's been all Johnson and Kiraly.
Karch Kiraly jump serving, but it's very, very off speed and very easy at the moment. Good call by Whitmarsh. Score remains 9-4. Kiraly and Johnson up by 5.
And once again, you look at this match, and then you look at the rest of the bracket, and you can see that whoever wins here certainly has a huge leg up in terms of getting into the finals of the winner's bracket.
And Karch Babushki's one cross court. So far, Kiraly, the Golden Boy, showing no weaknesses.
But Mike Whitmarsh showing some holes in his blocking, none so far in this match. And you always look to Mike Whitmarsh to have an impact on the game, on the match, touching balls, funneling balls to Mike Dodd, or stuffing balls for points.
Whitmarsh is taking off his shirt. That means he's getting down to serious business. Johnson with a dig. Johnson loop. Got it.
Adam Johnson's added something new to his defensive technique. He's playing a lot more with his hands up because they've loosened the interpretation of what is a legal dig on the beach. And so he's holding his hands high and playing a lot closer, popping that ball out, and it's worked very effectively. That's the 3rd dig and transition play for Adam Johnson where he's dug the ball overhand.
With less than 2 minutes remaining in the game, and Dodd and Whitmarsh need a rally of Seal Beach proportions of yesteryear. 10-4 is our score. Dodd and Whitmarsh trailing. And they're working on Karch, and perhaps too much, because Karch has looked very, very good.
Well, they've served Karch now 21 times, and Karch has 19 kills. Adam Johnson's been served 3 times. What was the score? Remember when you asked me, are they serving him too much? I said yes, and they should mix it up or at least try Adam Johnson. They have yet to do it. It was 6-2 at the time.
Exactly. Yeah, I think they should try to mix it up just a little bit.
And I'm surprised they're not.
And Whitmarsh, did he get a touch? Yes, Marvin Hall says, you touched it.
Mike Dodd has always been one of the first players to say, let's change. We just can't keep using the same strategy, the same game plan that we came in with, but they're just holding on to this theory, and maybe it's a little habitual of seeing old Pinky Hat over there and just going at it. That being Karch Kiraly, of course.
Working on Karch. Karch has been working on that as he goes right over the top and down.
And also Karch is a superb, if not among the best ever receivers of serve, be it the float serve or the jump serve, and Adam Johnson can just march on in and set the ball.
Laz Kiraly was telling me last night, one of the reasons Karch is such a great passer is because he can really hyperextend his elbows and get that flat platform. Karch up high, hyperextension.
Who would have thought that Adam Johnson and Karch Kiraly would have 2 stuff blocks as a team, whereas Dodd and Whitmarsh have 0. They've been in control the whole way.
The Miller Lite U.S. Championships, the most prestigious tournament of the year on championship court. It's 11-4. Let's go over to Bill Walton and check up.
All right, Chris, it's beautiful out here. The sun has come up, a nice crisp breeze. Benoit Moana and Brian Ivy have steadied themselves. They're still down 10-8. Great rally going on as we speak. 4:21 on the clock. But the scramble play is starting to work. Not really a strength of Brian Ivy's game. How healthy he is, but also a big factor here is Randy Stoklos. He missed last week's tournament with the flu. He has not been the spectacular Stoklos that we have seen. 10-9 here, plenty of time left. Back to you, Chris.
All right, Bill, once again, that's an elimination game. The loser is out. Back to center court, Mike Whitmarsh and Mike Dodd, and Karch Kiraly has been the story. We opened it up by saying, how healthy was Karch? How good is Karch? You said sometimes good, sometimes bad. Today he has looked very, very good.
He's been superb and all-around game. And that's been the key to Karch. He has not had consistency this year, but he can still block, he can pass, serve, he can play defense, and he's hitting exceptionally well in this match.
And Johnson putting the pressure on with his serving. Here comes Karch on the right. Karch Kiraly again.
12 out of the 13 points that have been scored by the team of Kiraly and Johnson have been when AJ has been at the line. He's got a couple of aces, but he's also put tremendous pressure on the side-out game of Dodd and Whitmarsh, and then Karch is playing defense, AJ is playing defense. They're setting each other exceptionally well, and they're converting when they have chances.
Dodd and Whitmarsh looks like a very tired squad right now. A little discombobulated, and Whitmarsh kicks the ball into the stands. Let's see if he gets a yellow card for that. No. Referee Greg Krause deems it unnecessary. 13-4, Johnson and Karai. Johnson and Karai getting out 7-2. Dodd and Whitmarsh got a point to make it 7-3, and then KK and AJ just running up the score. And the symmetry and the chemistry has been great in terms of calling the shots and putting it away from Karai's point of view.
Well, they're similar players in stature and style. Mechanically, they're different, but they both pass well, they hit well, and they play good defense. And then you add to that, out-blocking the much taller Mike Whitmarsh 4-0. That's why we've got a rout on our hands.
49 and 7/10 seconds to go. Mike Dodd and Mike Whitmarsh will fall into the elimination bracket, and they'll have to work their way back up. Very, very difficult to come through that bracket and win a major championship. As Karch puts it away.
But the 3-day format does help them a little bit. They will play no more than 3 matches today, Dodd and Whitmarsh, because they're going to lose here. And what Karai and Johnson have not only won this quarterfinal, or will, but they will earn the right to play the winner of the number 18 seed, Castillo and Boss, who pulled the upset over Stoklos and Lewis, or Todd Rogers and Dax Holdren. And they would be certainly favored in that match, the number 10 seed, and they beat Ivy and Fenoi Moana. Rogers and Holdren have 5th, and last week 4th. They've been one of the hottest young teams on tour, and will not be an easy match for Karai and Johnson.
I was talking to beach legend Kathy Gregory, who coaches up at Santa Barbara, and she said this Todd Rogers is a star of the future. He can do everything. He's a setter. He's very, very quick on defense, can side out. And Dax Holdren, who played 1 year at Santa Barbara, can dish the ball around and pound. A kind of an unorthodox kind of a player, but Karch pops one up. 13-4, clock running, 28 seconds. And Karch again. Karch, who had the ahi tuna last night, puts it away. 14-4.
And I'll bet he had it very much, you know, you have it pink on the rare side. You know Karch had it that way because he's playing some rare defense today.
First chance to put this one away. It is match point. Whitmarsh, no. 14-4. Maybe the most impressive game of the year for Karai and Johnson. They've played well at times.
Well, Karch, 25 kills, 2 blocks, 4 digs. It's just a great all-around match. And Adam Johnson, with his serving and defense and his setting of Karch Karai, let's not underestimate how well Adam Johnson has set his partner.
Absolutely.
6 seconds remains.
Just under 7 seconds to go. 14-4. So Adam Johnson and Karch Karai should be moving on, and AJ will serve. Adam Johnson, sometimes underrated with the big players, a man that's won on both sides, looking for match point. Dodd trying to hang in, and this should be it. Johnson got it. As time runs out, a dominating performance by Karch Karai and Adam Johnson. Final score officially, Karai and Johnson bomb Dodd and Whitmarsh 15-4. And Laz Karai approving on his 62nd birthday that his boy Karch had some steam in his hip today. We're going to come back. We'll have more from the Miller Lite U.S. Championship. Don't go away.
Good effort, Adam. Very good.
A remarkable turnaround here for Brian Ivy and Eric Fenoi Moana, who were high school teammates at Miracosta just up the road here in Hermosa. They are now leading 13-10. Plenty of time, just under 3 minutes left, but it's been Brian Ivy at the net blocking. It's been Fenoi Moana scrambling behind that big block. Remember, Ivy, one of the great blockers for the U.S. indoor team for many, many years. Stokey has not been able to do much. And there was a very controversial throw call on Brian Lewis a moment ago when the score was tied 10-10 to win against Brian Lewis. They called the throw. It gave Fenoi and Brian Ivy a point to put them up 11-10. The momentum has clearly been in their favor ever since, with a couple of service errors in a row by both teams. I think one of the real remarkable stories here has been the fact that Randy Stoklos, one of the great Hall of Fame players in beach volleyball, has not been his normal self. Randy, of course, missed last week with the flu. He's been sick all week, but now comes up with the great stuff block and one of the few times late in this match that Fenoy and Brian Ivy haven't succeeded on the scramble play. And now Stokey and Brian Lewis have to come up with some great jump serving here. Their strategy is to go right at Brian Ivy. Ivy, of course, the rookie on the AVP tour. But now they come short to Fenoy. And Randy Stoklos with a big dig at the net. And Stokey, who has been silent all match, comes up with the big block, side chain, 13-12, Fenoy, Ivy, plenty of time. Let's go back upstairs to Chris Marlowe. Chris?
Okay. Back at the Miller Lite U.S. Championship on championship court, Karai and Johnson dominate Dodd and Whitmarsh 15-4. Out on the outer court, we're told that Brian Ivy and Eric Fenoy Moana have gone up 14-12. They have championship point on the line. In our other quarterfinals, Rogers and Holdren play Castillo and Boss. Kent Stephenson and Jose Loyola, the #1 seed, take on Swadek and Hyger, and Canyon Seaman and Dane Blanton will take on Brian Gatsky and Eduardo Basile. Semifinals later today. If you're in the Southern California area, come on down and watch beach volleyball. Once again, Karch wins it 15-4.